Sanctioned by the Penta Boxing Association, the president Thomas Hogan, the supervisor George Yoshinaga, along with the Nevada State Athletic Commission, the chairman Dr. James Nave. I introduce to you the judges scoring this bout from ringside: Bill Graham, Dalby Shirley, and Al Siciliano, with our referee in charge to give instructions after the introductions, Toby Gibson. All right, fans, here we go with the Penta Boxing Association Flyweight Championship, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. I introduce to you first the challenger on my left, fighting out of the red corner. He enters the ring wearing silver trunks and fighting out of Mexicali, Baja California, Mexico. He weighed in at the flyweight limit of 112 pounds. His record includes 15 wins, 6 losses, with 8 wins coming by way of knockout. How about a hand for the challenger, Rafael Granillo. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, is the defending champion, entering the ring wearing black trunks with green trim, hailing from and representing our nation's capital of Washington, D.C. In winning 22 straight bouts, his record stands at 23 wins, only 1 loss, with 16 knockouts to his credit. Weighing in at 111 pounds, this Penta Flyweight champion is ranked number 2 in the world by the WBC. How about a hand for the defending champion, Mark Too Sharp Johnson. Once again, here's our referee in charge, Toby Gibson, now to give instructions. Once again, 12 rounds of boxing.
Come on, gentlemen. Okay, gentlemen, I've given your instructions in your respective dressing room before this fight. Obey my commands at all times. Good luck to both of you.
Toby Gibson, the referee, some final comments. Look at the tail of the tape. 23 for Johnson. Granillo is 22. He's 3 inches taller, a pound heavier, and Johnson has the advantage of 2 inches in the reach department. Those weights are interesting. As you take a look at the rules, 10-point must system, winner of the round gets 10, loser a lesser number. 3 knockdown rule in effect, standing 8 count in effect. Can't be saved by the bell in any round, and only the referee can stop the fight. Now then, they're all set to go. Gibson's ready, and here's round 1. It's scheduled for 12. Out they come. Interestingly enough, at 112 pounds, Johnson came in at the weigh-in at 112, Granillo at 112, and yet, having been weighed just an hour ago in a study the Nevada Commission is doing, Johnson weighed 117, Granillo 116.
That's a pretty good weight gain for guys these small. So close to the fight in the last 24 hours.
Interesting study that, to see just how much weight fighters put on once they are away from the scales in the official weigh-in. It generally is at least a 24-hour period. And of course, you can see with 112 pounders, they picked up about 5 pounds apiece.
Of course, the most ridiculous situation we saw, that was James Toney, who weighed in for his fight against Roy Jones Jr. at 167.5 and came in the next night weighing 184, yes, actually at fight time. Yes. Almost 17 pounds. Yeah.
And it certainly looked it too. Toney was completely outsped, out-hit, out-fought, and beaten by Jones. Very tough fight for Toney.
Tom, in recent fights now, as we take a look at Mark Too Sharp Johnson, he has become more of a slugger. And he seems to enjoy impressing the fans now with his ability to punch it out with his opponents. And he's been obviously extremely effective. When he first came to Los Angeles, we were looking at him more as a slick boxer, and he certainly has the quickness to be that, but he's shown a real ability to punch here in the last year.
Well, all of his skills, and they are considerable, have been, as the guy said, he finds himself hoisted on his own petard. People look at him, see him as a classy boxer. They want to fight him. Then when they find out this kid can not only box and take you the distance and beat you, but sit right down and knock you out, they don't want him around anymore. Nobody wants to fight this kid and give him a title shot, but I think the body politic is going to demand that he get a title shot. In the meantime, Granillo is all business out there in the silver trunks, and Johnson the southpaw against Granillo, who obviously is in his biggest fight. This would be an unbelievable win if Granillo should pull it off. He was 15-1 in the betting here at Caesars Palace. If he could pull that off, he would jump right into the middle of this very active division, flyweight, superflies. Been a busy first round, too, I might add.
And, you know, he's not really intimidated by Johnson's record or performances. So it should be a good fight. I think he's going to be really fighting him.
I don't know if he's got the firepower, knockout punch to stay with Johnson if they get into a nose-to-nose confrontation here. Johnson bouncing around up there, almost losing his footing.
One thing I've noticed about Granillo here early, though, Tom, is he moves around that ring pretty good. And, you know, technically, he doesn't look bad in the things that he's doing out there.
Seconds closing down on round number 1. Johnson trying to cut the ring off a little bit, pounds a right hand to the body and brings it up to the jaw. And a good right hand at the bell, and he quickly bounces back to his corner where his dad, Ham, will step in and talk to him a little bit, or at least lean in from the side.
Over in Rafael's corner, they're asking him how he feels. And giving him instructions to use the jab, open up with the jab before going on to the attack. Also tell him to go to the stomach with the right.
I told you before you start, 2 and 3 jabs. Yes. Right. Settle down, side to side. Okay. 2 and 3 jabs. You're too far away. Right hand all day. All day long. Come on. 2 and 3 jabs. Break, hook, test the body, take it over time. Set it up.
His dad, Ham Johnson, leaning in, says take it to the body, then take it over the top. The gentleman on the left leaning in, his brother James, who's an outstanding amateur boxer in his own right. Well, we'll see how it goes. The bell brings him out, scheduled for 12. Nice crowd on hand here in the Sports Pavilion at Caesars Palace.
The last fight for Too Sharp Johnson, a real exciting bout, was that fight that Tom mentioned against Moro Baby Diaz, who came in, fought very hard, but still was stopped in 3 rounds by Mark Johnson. And before that, an absolutely sensational bout of the Forum against Leon Salazar, where fans were on their feet for the better part of 3 rounds, roaring until Salazar could not come out for the 4th.
And then, of course, prior to that last year, right here in this very same ring, Johnson and Orozco in a 12-rounder where Johnson knocked him out. Banging away with that right hand. Johnson's the southpaw, and that right hand is a very big weapon for him.
Granillo is following his corner. He's going with the right to the body, except but he's just staying out there. He's becoming an easy target for Johnson. He doesn't follow up with combinations. He just throws a punch and stays in there.
Johnson moved in and buried that right hand to the ribs on Granillo. Rich, and there was kind of a look of concern on Granillo's face, one can imagine it.
Yeah, Granillo went into a quick retreat there, Tom, and I think he needed to step back and collect himself. He's trying to figure out Mark Johnson, but whether you can figure out what he's doing or not, he seems to get the better of you. It's a powerful kid for 112 pounds.
Yeah. And Granillo buried a left of his own into the side of Johnson as he moved in on him. Johnson continues to advance. He's got Granillo backed up into Rafael's corner.
There's a nice right hand by Granillo thrown in there, Tom. And Johnson admits in his last few fights, while he's been willing to slug, Tom, that means he's going to get hit sometimes.
Yes.
And probably if he depended only on boxing and his speed and his boxing ability, he would win fights easier, not get hit as much as he has in the last couple of fights. But that doesn't bring fans running with cash to the box office.
He wants to not only get wins, but get fans, and he is doing quite a bit of that.
Nice exchange there.
Johnson claiming a low blow, Tom.
Yep.
Granillo acknowledged it and apologized for it and went right back to work. Johnson says that he already has the secret for beating all these Mexican fighters. He says all you have to do is work the body. They don't like that, but I don't think anybody likes that.
Johnson landed a pretty good left hand, caught Granillo flush in the face. Continues to have the youngster from Mexicali backing up, has him against the ropes, cuffs him with a left hand, a right hand, throws a left. You know, I would think if I'm able to, if I were Johnson, I'd put people away as quickly as possible. Why mess around with the guy and go 8, 10, 12 rounds and the chance you could lose and with it a title shot? No, I would go for the knockout as quick as I could. Round 2 is coming to a close. We'll be back after this.
As they start round 3, watch the low blow that Johnson complained about. There it is, a right hand. It definitely was low, and it threw Johnson off as well as he missed a right hand wildly. And although he was the recipient of a low blow and Granillo acknowledged it, Toby Gibson paid no attention, the referee.
Yeah. It was interesting to listen to Ham Johnson, high, squeaky, somewhat irritated voice over in the corner. Mark Johnson's father. Ham thinks his son is out there not taking care of business the way he wants him to.
Well, he's cutting the ring now a lot better than he was in the first couple of rounds.
I think he hurt Granillo with that left hand a moment ago. Drops a right hand on Granillo that had some authority behind it. There's another right hand and another right. And Granillo staggers away. I think he's hurt, Fernando.
Yeah, I think so, because his knees wobbled when he was hit with the left.
It's the first time really that his legs really gave way when he backed up. Each time he's been hit hard by Johnson, he's backed away, but been able to do it without his legs giving way. That time they definitely wobbled some.
Johnson working to the body, throws a left to the jaw, comes back with a two-fisted attack, and Granillo trying to cover up is not doing much in the way of answering with any punches of his own.
Granillo, of course, has a problem here in that he's not a real hard hitter.
No.
He moves around that ring and boxes pretty well, but Mark Johnson, it appears, can just walk right through his punches.
We're in the third round. It is scheduled for 12. Johnson's Penta Flyweight Championship on the line, being defended by the man from Washington, D.C.
When we talked to Granillo yesterday, he said he would try to box early, Tom, and utilize his boxing ability. He may take some shots from Johnson, but he felt that if he could box him early and let the fight go into the later rounds, he would take away some of Johnson's speed, and he felt that was a key to defeating Mark Johnson if he could get the guy to slow down a little bit.
I don't know about Mexican fighters, Fernando, whether they like to get hit in the body or don't. I know a lot of non-Mexican fighters who don't like to get hit in the body.
I don't know any fighter that likes to get hit.
But Johnson has been working to the body pretty good against Granillo. Maybe trying to prove a point, I don't know, but...
Well, I think he realizes not only that he can knock him out on the, just hitting him to the head, but just by going to the body, he's going to make sure the other guy loses speed and of movement. And he's been very effective in the past going to the body.
Mark Johnson was fighting orthodox right-handed there for the last 30 seconds.
That's right, slipped into the right-handed mode. Now Gibson says keep him up and cautions Granillo about watching for a headbutt. Johnson is in the orthodox style right now. Round 3 coming to a close. You're watching the action from Caesars Palace, the Sports Pavilion. We'll be back. Out they come for round number 4. Johnson to the left of your screen, now with his back to you in the black and green. And in the silver, almost lame trunks, is Granillo. After 3 rounds, Rich Murata has Johnson winning all 3 rounds, giving him 10 points for each of the first 3. And Fernando Paramo, we have a consensus right here. Fernando likes it 30-27 Johnson. No one asked about mine, but I have it 30-27 Johnson as well.
In both corners, during the break, they're both asking him to throw more combinations, not just single punches. So this might get interesting.
In Mark Johnson's corner, Ham Johnson, his dad, his voice is getting higher pitched with each succeeding round.
Getting almost strident in its delivery, and it's about as frustrated as he is over this young champion of his not getting a shot at the WBC or IBF or WBA. You know, WBA doesn't even have him listed, do they?
No, they don't. He's a non-boxer there.
Is that unbelievable?
Well, who can keep up with the machinations with all of this chaos that exists in boxing with all these jurisdictional bodies now? It's gotten to the point of being ridiculous.
Yeah, but that would be like the National League in baseball not recognizing Babe Ruth of the American League. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, I'm still waiting for the IBF to explain ranking Francois Botha as the #1 heavyweight in the world.
Yeah.
If you want something hilarious, take a look at that one.
Bob Arum says that what they want is the Great White Hope come through.
Pretty good counter with the left hand by Granillo. Throws a right hand that hits Johnson flush.
That was a terrific shot by Granillo, and I think Johnson felt that one a little bit.
He spins around and now doing a little showboating out there and dancing.
And now he's going to boxing, Tom, which indicates to me that he did feel that one. Because as soon as he got into that, got hit with that right hand, he's gone into a boxing mode here and a little bit more careful.
Now everybody yelling duro, which means hard. Hit him hard.
Granillo obviously with renewed hope and purpose here in round number 4. Perhaps his best round. Johnson comes back and hits him with the left as he goes away. Bangs him with the left. And they have their feet crossed up and stagger away from each other.
And that right might give him the confidence that he needs to keep on pressing the fight.
It might give him a little false sense of security, too, that he can step in and throw that. Might be trouble. 4th round coming to a close. We'll be back. The action from the Sports Pavilion, Caesars Palace. Fight night coming your way. I'm Tom Kelly along with Rich Morata. Fernando Paramo. You're watching Mark Too Sharp Johnson in against Rafael Jesus Granillo. This is round number 5. Neither man has been down. Johnson got nailed with a pretty good right hand in round number 4, and he has, prior to that and even during the 4th round, pretty much taken the action to Granillo, working both to the body and the head. Granillo is a nice boxer, not a big-time hitter, and is a decided underdog, which I think brings you up to date. Nice combination by Johnson as Granillo missed it. Too Sharp scored with one to the body and one to the head. Took a shot that might have been a bit low from Granillo again.
And Granillo's trading with him, Tom. He's willing to do it, even though Johnson is clearly a harder puncher.
Arriba, arriba.
He does have a good win in his career, Granillo. He had a TKO in 8 rounds over Antonio Ruiz Villasana, which I think spruces up his record a bit.
Yep. Johnson landing some pretty good shots over there in close, Fernando. He's working that uppercut in pretty good fashion on Granillo.
Granillo said to look for an opening, but he's not really teeing up to begin with. He's waiting until Johnson comes in, and by that time it's too late every single time.
Johnson throws a right hand that might have been a bit low, working to the body. Throws a left. Granillo goes into the ropes and looks like he's in trouble. Indeed, down he goes.
That's how it goes with Mark Johnson fights.
He hit him a pretty good shot that I think a lot of the crowd didn't see.
Beautiful leg hook.
He's in trouble. He's not getting hooked out.
At the count of 10, his hand was still on the canvas, although he had risen off it, and that constitutes still being down, and the fight was going to be stopped, I'm sure, at that point anyway.
Boys, that is 23 in a row now for Too Sharp Johnson. His dad picks him up. That's Cassius Green out there holding him in the air. And he perhaps is well deserved in the sobriquet of the uncrowned king of the flyweights or superflies. Granillo put in a pretty good night's work, though, Fernando. He was game.
He had his best round in the 4th round when he was really coming on.
But he couldn't handle Johnson, who in the round came in, hit him, missed him with a right, came back and nailed him with a left hand. And that sent Granillo into the ropes, and from that point on, why his moments in the ring were numbered as he staggers forward, falling into Johnson, who hit him 2 or 3 shots on his way down. Now watch the left hand, bang. He dropped that one on him. Here comes the left right there, and that sends Granillo back into the ropes, and that was the telling blow.
He tried to hold on to Johnson, but by that time it was too late. You can see him try to go down into his knees, and then try to get up. Never able to do it.
23 in a row for the young man from Washington, D.C. We'll be back to find out how he felt about the win in a moment.